Biomutant is a brand new open world RPG available now for the PlayStation 4. In it, you play as a fully customizable mutant on a quest to save the Tree of Life from ferocious world eaters. Have you seen this then? It's the absolute worst. The game features a ton of really cool stuff for you to do. You can craft your own ranged and melee weapons. You can wield a variety of weird mutant powers. You can ride a giant hand that shoots bullets out of its finger. I love this. I think this is really cool. Now, I've been lucky enough to have been playing the game for the last few weeks, and now that I've finished it, I thought it would be helpful to give new players a list of 10 tips that will help them thrive in the world of Biomutant. Hi, I'm Liam from Push Square, and these are 10 tips for getting started in Biomutant. Before we start, a huge thank you to THQ Nordic for sponsoring this video. Now, with all that out of the way, let's get started. This first tip is perhaps the most important one on this entire list. Find Mirages. Mirages are signified by this cuddly looking creature holding a lamp, who will appear at random locations around the open world from time to time. Approaching the mirage will transport you into a memory, where you'll be tasked with defeating a character from your childhood using only your fists. After you reawaken back in the present day, you'll be given the choice of one of 4 extremely helpful upgrades for your tiny robot companion, the Automaton. Health Boost allows the Automaton to heal you, while the power-up temporarily gives you a damage boost. Both can be activated during combat and recharge after a set amount of time. The Pew Pew Pan automatically transforms the Automaton into a turret when enemies are nearby, providing you with some much needed supporting fire, while the Air Glider allows you to use the Bugbot's wings to safely soar through the air after jumping from somewhere high. All 4 upgrades help you out in vastly different ways, so do yourself a favour and keep an eye out for the Mirage while exploring. Crafting your own weapons out of salvaged components and collectible scrap is an essential mechanic within Biomutant. But what happens when your favourite gun isn't killing big, fluffy orbs with faces as quickly as you'd like it to? Well, you could craft another, but why not just upgrade what you already have instead? Crafted weapons can be improved by simply navigating to the crafting menu and selecting a weapon you already own. From there, you can swap out components for better ones, or even change the type of gun entirely. Having fun with your shotgun that fires saw blades, but you kind of wish it was a rifle that shoots ice bullets instead? Simply get into that crafting menu and make your weapon the best it can possibly be. While we're on the subject of improving weapons, you don't need to have an inventory full of better components to make your weapons more powerful. Scattered all around the world are weapons upgrade benches, located on these floating platforms held up by huge balloons. Simply clamber up to access the weapon bench, which will allow you to improve any of your weapons in exchange for scrap. These upgrades will boost damage output, making your existing weapons more effective against tougher late-game enemies. Better yet, opposite the weapons bench is another bench that allows you to upgrade your gear, providing you with better protection against your foes. Neat. Speaking of armour, don't forget to improve your clothes by heading into the crafting menu. Certain items of gear allow you to attach armour boosting add-ons that increase your defensive capabilities. You'll pick up plenty of these useful little trinkets as you explore, so make sure you're making the most of your currently equipped gear by frequently accessing the crafting menu. Trust me, this screen is well handy. Biomutant features a unique twist on classic dialogue systems where risky conversation options can result in permanently losing stat points. It's a fun way of making your choices matter, offering a tangible consequence for your actions if things don't pan out the way you originally hoped. But did you know just how powerful your words can be? Not only can you convince roaming animals to tell you about nearby secrets in the open world, you can even defeat an entire rival tribe by selecting a risky dialogue option. Sure, you may lose some of your strength or charisma if they're not having any of it, but if your plan works, you'll avoid a fight and save some lives in the process. Violence isn't always the answer, after all. Are you wanting to craft a new weapon but you've run out of scrap? Not to worry, simply jump on your mount and go for a ride. Before long, you'll undoubtedly stumble across a resource totem. These muddled together structures are a source of a single type of scrap. Simply whack them a few times with your melee weapon and voila, you'll gain a handful of scrap to help you towards your next crafting project. Still running low? Simply dive into your inventory to scrap any unwanted clothing or weapon components. You'll get a bunch of scrap for doing so, and with plenty of low-level items scattered around the world, you'll always have plenty of options for increasing your pool of resources in a pinch. Biomutant is a full-blown RPG, and as a result, there's a myriad of ways you can upgrade your tiny little mutant cat monster to transform it into the most dangerous creature in the post-apocalypse. There are 5 separate menus that allow you to upgrade your mutant. The easiest and most obvious is your base character stats. Once you level up, you'll be given the choice of one of 6 aspects of your mutant you want to improve. You'll also be given 1 upgrade point, which can be used to unlock either new Wun-Fu abilities or perks. Wun-Fu abilities allow you to unlock special moves for specific weapon types, whether that be shotguns, assault rifles, two-handed blades, or unarmed combat. I'd recommend you prioritize unlocking special moves for the weapons you find yourself using the most when engaging with enemies. Perks, on the other hand, offer more general upgrades for both your character and your specific class. These perks provide useful boosts such as increased ranged damage or resilience to attacks. Bio points can be collected from bio canisters located around the world and are also dropped by certain enemies. These can be used to unlock powerful abilities that increase your effectiveness in combat. They can also be used to increase your resistance against certain types of status effects. Finally, psi points can be unlocked by either preying at psi poles, making specific dialogue choices, or via some open world activities. Psi points allow you to unlock cool psi powers, but there's a catch. Certain psi powers can only be unlocked if you have a specific dark or light aura score. Making certain choices throughout the game will give you dark or light points, depending on whether you choose the path of good or evil. Thankfully, bad choices don't negate good choices or vice versa, meaning you can freely accumulate points towards both ends of the morality scale. You are, after all, a rogue Ronin from beyond the wall. It wouldn't be out of place to, straight up murder something every once in a while, especially if it means you can unlock a cool new power-up as a result. Vendors can be found around the world, selling various goods and supplies in exchange for green leaves. If you're running low on the green, don't worry, as more currency can be found by hunting down green leaf bushes, located across the open world. Simply leap through them to grab some more of that sweet, sweet green stuff. Alternatively, you can also sell unwanted equipment to any vendor if you're running low. Oh, and if vendors are ripping you off, simply pop some of your upgrade points into the charisma skill. This will reduce the cost of items, allowing you to pick up better equipment for a fraction of the cost. Now that's just good business. Fighting a big enemy who hits hard? Here's a quick tip. Health items can be stacked, allowing you to recover health quicker than if you just consumed a single one. If you're in a tight spot and you're in desperate need of healing, select multiple health items one after the other to get back on your feet in no time at all. Our final tip may be a bit of an obvious one, but that doesn't mean it's not helpful. Biomutant is a game just begging to be explored. Scattered throughout its vast open world are ruined structures, desolate tunnels, and sleepy little villages. Exploration will reward you with rare loot, interesting bits of story content, and super cool mounts. The best advice I can honestly give you is to simply get out there and see the world for yourself. Trust me, there's plenty of cool things to discover off the beaten path. So there we have it, 10 tips for getting started in Biomutant. Thank you once again to THQ Nordic for sponsoring this video. Have you been playing Biomutant on the PlayStation 4? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please do consider giving it a like and make sure to subscribe to Push Square for everything PlayStation. I'll see you next time. I'm so sorry, I thought you'd be dead by now. I know what I said about you being horrific and all that stuff I said off camera, about you being just a freak of nature, about how you were God's mistake, about how I wished you were dead. Look, is there any way we can move past? No, you're gonna eat me? You're gonna eat me. Alright, okay, well that makes sense.